What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLorean here. Welcome to a brand new video, and this is my review for Chucky episode 7, Double the Loss, Twice the Grieving. So I will be perfectly honest, this was probably my favorite episode of season 1 and the series so far, but obviously I can't say it's my favorite episode 100% just yet, since obviously we have the season finale, or the season 1 finale premiering next Tuesday, which, telling by the trailer, will be absolutely fucking insane and feature a lot of really crazy things, including, which I should say this before we do hop into this video, that there will be massive spoilers to the entire Chucky series and episode 7. So if you guys do not want to get spoiled, make sure to click off now, and definitely make sure to check out the episode for yourself, because this was definitely a 100% amazing and great episode in my opinion. And hey, a lot of our theories did come true in this episode. A lot of them really did. And last but not least, before we do hop into the review, make sure to leave your theories down below for episode 8 so I can make a video on that and everything, so we all share our theories in one big video and everything. And just holy shit, man, so much is gonna happen in that episode. So make sure to drop your theories down below for this week's kind of like, community theory video before episode 8, aka the season finale premieres. And now let's hop right into the review for episode 7. So first things first, what I did want to talk about is that funeral scene that took place in the beginning of the episode. I'll be perfectly honest, I really did enjoy that scene, because when Jake, Devin, and Lexi are talking about how they're like kind of giving up slightly, I guess you could say kind of giving up on like, trying to kill Chucky altogether, because obviously every time they did try to do that, it did not work out at all. And I did really enjoy this scene between all of them, because it was kind of it was a very depressing scene of all of them kind of just saying like, every time we try to go after him, everything goes wrong, so maybe it's better if we all split up and he won't try to kill us then, or maybe he won't try as like, hard, which is kind of a bit of a dumb thing to say, since Andy did say to like, Jake and Devin that he will try to get you when you're most vulnerable. But it was kind of a very pretty sad scene in my opinion, to see them all kind of go, yeah, we might need to all just split up and everything and just not talk to each other anymore. But that scene really did kick into gear when Junior showed up and basically started confronting Jake. I'm basically saying like, you're a curse, like, everything that like, went wrong or has happened that's gone wrong all happened because of you, which I thought was like, fired up the scene like a lot. But then we did eventually get the big thing that happened in that scene, was basically like Lexi tried talking Junior down, basically saying it's not his fault, and then Junior fucking swung around and punched like Jake right in the face, and I was like, holy shit, that's probably the biggest, not the biggest thing that's happened in the show, since obviously we've gone fucking murder that's happened before. That's pretty big, but it was kind of the first show of aggression between like, Jake and Junior and anything, that kind of tension that's been building up throughout the season. But obviously Junior's father Logan did find this out and basically came over to like, Jake's rescue, or that's kind of sounds stupid, Jake's rescue, but basically came over to like, break up the situation. And that's when Tiffany shows up, and that was a really cool thing to happen, or anything, to Tiffany show up. And I just love her entrance in this scene. How she just pulls up in the red car, which I'm not sure what the car is. Make sure to correct me down below what the car is called, but it's a really cool car. But her entrance was just so cool, and I just fucking love Jennifer Tilly in this role so much. She's just like an amazing actress, because she just like pulls up, gets out, and starts like, walking up to him like, all mysterious. And obviously Logan's confused as fuck along with the other kids. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me that got really uncomfortable during this scene when basically Tiffany like, got really close to Logan and was like, I'm sorry for your loss, and started like whispering in his ear and everything. And obviously the big bombshell that truly, I'm assuming, like, pissed Junior off, is that Tiffany kissed Logan, which obviously everyone's eyes went wide during that scene. It made me a little bit uncomfortable and everything, not in like a bad way where it's like I hate the show, but it definitely did what it was supposed to, I'm assuming, which was make me really uncomfortable. But yeah, that opening funeral scene was definitely insane, with like the whole thing about all the kids talking about how they're gonna like, split up and everything, how maybe it's just not meant to be. Then moving on to Junior showing his aggression towards Jake and everything, and then eventually punching him, to Tiffany showing up and kissing Logan, which like I said was super fucking insane but cool. Moving on to my next point in this video, which is Jake and Devin. Now, I'll be kind of brief on this segment and everything, because it was kind of a bit, I guess you could say, short-lived. But basically there was a meeting in like, Devin's room before he did leave to go stay with his aunt or go to a foster home, since obviously he has pretty much no family or parents left. But basically he did end up like, Jake and Devin ended up sharing one last scene before like, their last scene in this episode or anything that we did get. And I thought it was a very nice scene or anything, how like, between the two, how Devin's like, I can't stand to be with you, because it makes me think of like, what if you did die, which I thought was very sweet. But it was just a very interesting scene and everything, especially how Devin did mention going to a foster home, which is the same thing that happened to Andy when both his parents were like, gone in Child's Play 2, which obviously his mother didn't die. She's still obviously like, alive and kicking, obviously telling by, I think, the Curse of Chucky, I think. But I thought it was very interesting to think of that concept of like, that kind of parallel of like, Devin going to a foster home, and then obviously like, that's the same that happened to Andy in Child's Play 2. But I thought Jake and Devin's like, whole scene, I thought was very like, it was very sweet and everything, and it was definitely very sad to see that the two like, splitting up. The next thing I want to talk about is Jake running away, and the whole thing with like, Jake saying like, everything's happening because of me and I just need to leave, so like, maybe death follows me somewhere else and not away from the people that I love. So basically Jake takes like, Logan's money and everything, all of his money out of his wallet, which I was like, dude, what if he thinks Junior did that? He's gonna kick that kid's ass. And Junior's already been through enough, man. Obviously Jake has been through like, pretty much the same amount also, but basically Jake stole all of Logan's money and basically took off and everything, and like, Devin said he was gonna do is basically like, just leave and be on his own. I did really like a lot of the cinematography when like, Jake was like, walking throughout the city and everything and leaving. I did like the lighting and everything, and like the atmosphere that was created inside, the subway or bus station. But what I did really think about this, it was interesting about this scene, is when I think it was like, Jake saw the guy carrying in like, the good guy doll to like, deliver to obviously Tiffany's address, which was like, Charles Lee Ray's like, home and everything, and Tiffany's home and basically all of that and everything, which I did think was also really interesting, is when like, Tiffany was getting a bunch of good guy dolls shipped to her address. But then how Jake basically gave away all of his money to like, the guy that was like, shipping the good guy doll and everything, and basically like, starts smashing the doll around in paranoia, which really reminded me of Andy in Child's Play 2 when he saw the like, the perfectly fine good guy doll and everything, basically started smashing it around and everything. Moving on to my next point, which was Devin going to Chucky's old house, which was a very interesting thing that I did predict, and obviously it was pretty much apparent by like, the episode 7 trailer that Devin was gonna go to like, Tiffany's house and Tiffany and Nika's house. But it was really, really cool to see like, him like, break in and then meet Nika and everything, and then the big twist, which was Nika turning back into Chucky. Or honestly, I think I did have a theory that like, Nika was always Chucky in that scene and everything, and that basically like, from the second like Devin broke into the house, Chucky was there and it wasn't Nika. Or it could have been like, Nika and everything, then something triggered like, Nika to be like, Chucky again, which I do wonder what that was. But I thought it was awesome how like, Devin untied Nika, was like, I'm Devin, what's your name? And she's like, depends who like, you're asking. And it was basically like, she got him and started maniacally laughing and everything, which I thought was fucking awesome and just really funny. Devin was probably sitting there so fucking confused, like, what the fuck did I just do and what's going on? Now another brief segment is the mayor's meeting, which was essentially like, Lexi's mom, which God, I hope she dies at the finale, please kill her. But basically like, she's like, trying to cover up for everything, saying like, oh, we caught the main suspect, which was Mrs. Fairchild, like, the teacher of all the murders, and basically like, obviously everyone's giving a hard time because obviously there was like, fucking 70 murders in the town. I mean, who wouldn't give your mayor like a hard time over that? But basically the whole thing where like, she said we're gonna have like, Frankenstein like, screening, which is obviously like, what looks to be is gonna be like, the main big battle arena or the final fight scene in like, episode 8. And then basically when like, the reporters asked Caroline saying, oh, would you want to be a mayor after your mother or anything, and she said like, Chucky told me to kill her, which I was like, holy shit, that's definitely not gonna make the mother look good. And basically said like, Lexi did say like, well, what else did Chucky say? And how she was basically like, he told me to kill you all, which really reminded me of Pennywise, how it like, from it and everything, I was like, kill them all. Now next is Andy and Kyle. Now I did think their kind of segment was a bit brief in this episode, even though they both did have their really good parts near the end. But basically Andy and Kyle stopped for gas, and that was basically their entire scene in this episode, besides Andy and the Emma. We'll get to that later. But I thought it was very interesting, just their whole like, dialogue and everything, and basically saying like, Kyle's scared of Andy driving and everything, which I think was for a reason, basically like, because of what he did ended up doing at the end of the scene, and how Kyle went in to get cigarettes, which was obviously a callback to Child's Play 2 and everything. I definitely do think it wasn't that was intended there. How when Kyle was smoking while doing laundry and everything, and she gave Andy like, the cigarette to hold and everything, and then Andy ended up smoking, which I thought was really funny in Child's Play 2. But basically what ended up having the end of that scene is that Andy ended up leaving like, Kyle at the gas station, which I was super surprised of, but I'm assuming he's doing that for Kyle's safety and everything, so like, she doesn't get hurt or anything. Now the next thing that I wanted to talk about is Junior and his dad, and Junior's first kill, which, oh my God, I'm not even kidding, I didn't see that coming, but it happened. So in this episode, basically it was the first meeting of Junior and Chucky, which was fucking awesome, by the way. So basically kind of like, tiptoe ahead and make this segment pretty quick. Basically Junior and Chucky had the same kind of conversation that like, Jake and Chucky had, where it's basically like, Junior and Jake were basically like, I do not think I could do this. And then Chucky's saying, oh, come on, everyone deserves to die, or like, every asshole deserves to die, which is obviously he's like, talking about Junior's father, Logan. And then basically eventually throughout the episode, he does start to go, yep, maybe I do need to kill him. And the final straw is basically when Tiffany comes to visit Junior, which yet again was a very uncomfortable scene, I'm assuming by intention, but was a really interesting scene that I absolutely loved. Also, when basically Tiffany came to visit Junior, I absolutely loved Jennifer Tilly in this scene because she was so like eccentric and everything and very energetic about like around Junior and everything, and basically saying like, oh, I brought you like, guys, Swedish meatballs, which is obviously Chucky's like, favorite. That whole scene was really funny in my opinion. But basically what drove Junior to his final decision, it was basically like, when Tiffany insinuated that Logan was cheating on his like, wife with Tiffany, which was like, a theory that I did see in my comment section down below, and I think it was people saying like, what if Logan did cheat on his wife with Tiffany, which is what in the end kind of drove Junior to say like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna kill him. And oh my god, dude, when we finally got to that scene where basically like, Logan came into Junior's room and basically like, Chucky's head started turning around and then basically started like, like kind of mocking him in a way, saying like, you're just like your brother, Logan, and like, I'm Luke and everything, you're like the same and your names sound the same, which I thought was such a fucking awesome and such a well done scene. I think where basically Chucky's just mocking Logan and everything the entire time. I don't see Logan's drunk just like his brother.
Just like Uncle Lucas. Just like your brother.
Knock it off.
Logan, Lucas, Logan.
Knock it off.
Logan and Lucas, the loser twins.
Stop it. Stop it.
Glug, glug, glug.
Which I did predict in my episode 7 trailer breakdowns that he would just become just like his brother after losing his wife. He becomes like, abusive drunk. But that scene was awesome. How like Chucky just starts insulting him, and then basically he's like, stop doing that. And then that's when Junior just like fucking loses it and throws like, his dad against the wall. And they kind of start having like, an argument and everything, which was just fucking awesome. But getting to the main event of this scene is basically when like, Jake or Junior's dad, Logan, basically says, your mother only killed herself because she's a quitter, which obviously definitely triggered Junior to like, the final, his like, final fuse and everything. So obviously his mother, like, Brie was the only person who cared about him ever. So hearing Logan basically insult his mother just made him snap. And he basically, what he did was he took Chucky's, like, Chucky the doll, and basically started smashing his head into the fucking ground. What was even funnier about this scene is the fact that Chucky was like, technically alive and active in this scene. And we got to see from Chucky's perspective, like, a front view of him being smashed down top of Logan's head with all the blood splattering on the wall, and Junior like, smashing his dad's head down in rage with Chucky's like, body. And oh my god, that scene, just from the start of like Logan entering Junior's room to Chucky insulting him to Junior bashing his father's fucking skull in with Chucky's body. Oh my god, that was awesome. And just like, I can't even express, like, that scene probably solidified this as, like I said, my favorite episode of the series so far, which maybe I'll have different opinions after episode 8 premieres and have a little bit more time to think about what was truly my favorite episode. But so far, after that kill in this episode, this has to be my favorite episode so far. But like I said, we'll have to see. And like I said, just in general, I loved that fucking scene so much of just Junior bashing his fucking father's head in. And obviously, or more of so, it was never Jake who was going to become the killer, it was Junior. And I love the end of that scene where basically Junior just started singing like, Go-Go's We Got the Beat and everything, which I'm listening to as I'm recording this video right now, and I fucking love that ending. But what's very interesting is Junior started singing We Got the Beat when he was also in the hospital and when Chucky was around him. And someone did comment on one of my most recent videos saying that, like, maybe Junior always knew about Chucky and that the fact that he was alive, but just kept quiet about it. And the fact that he sang, like, We Got the Beat again after seeing, like, Chucky in the, like, end of the episode, it kind of almost makes me think, did he always know he was alive? But I did think that was really funny when he started singing We Got the Beat, and then Chucky also started singing We Got the Beat, which is just so fucking funny. And also the special effects are kind of like, makeup and blood of Logan, like, having his head bashed in was so fucking good in my opinion. Especially the final result of seeing Logan, like, roll over, spitting out blood and everything. That was so well done, and like, it looked awesome. Now moving on to the ending of the episode, which highly is gonna lead into the huge ending arena finale battle of season 1. So basically, we get to see that Devin, after seeing that Nika is officially a psycho now, we get to see him tied up in a chair and everything, and basically he looks over to see not only one, not only two, not only three, because there's 3 child play movies, but an absolute ocean of Chucky dolls, like an absolute ocean of good guy dolls, like so fucking many, at least probably 20 to 100 good guy dolls sitting right in front of him, which apparently Tiffany's really been busy with her online shopping addiction and got, like, hundreds of good guy dolls shipped to her house. And that was the whole ending of that, like, Devin's whole subplot, like he was like tied up in a chair and everything, obviously with, like, We Got the Beat on in the background, and obviously all the dolls turning their heads right to Devin, which was fucking awesome. Seeing like those seas of Chucky's like, you know, like staring right at Devin, turning their head to him, and his reaction of going, oh my fucking god, which was just so fucking cool. I love that. Now, Junior and Andy's ending of the episode was even, well, I'm not gonna say cooler, but really fucking equally as cool as Devin's. Where basically, after Junior shoved his father Logan inside the closet, and Chucky and like, you know, Junior were done with like, you know, the kill and hiding the body, they started looking out the window, and Chucky was like, now the real fun begins. And basically what shows or happens after is Andy shows up to Junior's house, because I'm assuming that's where like, you know, Andy, or not Andy, where Andy was going and everything after he got the call from Jake in the, I think, 6th episode, and that's where he was like, you know, going towards the entire time. And now we get a confirmation that there's possibly gonna be, or actually confirmed that there's gonna be a Junior and Chucky versus Andy fight in episode 8, which I really can't wait for. That ending was fucking awesome. Seeing Andy show up to like, you know, Junior's house and everything with Junior and like, you know, Chucky looking out the window, that was just fucking awesome. And some side things I want to talk about, which was the Charles Lee Ray and Chucky and Tiffany flashbacks. I really did like those, especially like, you know, Chucky's saying like, you know, want to order a pizza and everything, and like, you know, the ending when like, you know, Tiffany's like, you know, oh, why don't we make like, you know, Swedish meatballs and everything, and then she finds out that like, you know, Charles Lee Ray or like, you know, Chucky was killing without her, and she's like, you know, we don't kill with each other anymore. I thought that was really fucking funny. And also the part of Jake and Lexi basically talking, like, you know, when she was like, oh, like, you know, we're your family now, which I thought was a genuinely sweet scene and everything. I really did like, you know, like that. But what we did get to see also is that all the dolls are awakening now, and the doll that Jake brought to Lexi's house is now awake and in the house with them. And we did get a kind of tease in the episode 8 trailer, and obviously in the end of episode 7, that like, you know, they're gonna have a fight with that one Chucky doll, and they're probably gonna be like, holy shit, what the hell is happening, which is obviously gonna go towards like, you know, the ending fight where they're gonna be like, oh my god, are all the dolls awakening now with like, you know, Charles Lee Ray and Chucky's soul. But that was my review for Chucky episode 8, Double the Loss, Twice the Grieving. This episode, like I said, so far has got to be my favorite out of the entire series so far. But like I said, we have season 1 ending next Tuesday with the season finale, which will be a huge ending, like, you know, blowout that they're definitely gonna leave us with. And I'm really excited for that episode, since there's a lot of things set up for that ending episode, that final episode of season 1. And I keep saying season 1, man, because I really want a season 2, which Don did say, the creator of like, you know, the Chucky franchise, did say if season 1 did really good, and that they like, you know, that he does want the series greenlit for a second season, which, man, the show has been doing really good, so I guarantee it has to get greenlit for a second season. It just has to. But like I said, this was like, you know, 100% my favorite episode and everything. Make sure to comment down below what is your favorite episode, what you guys did like about this episode the most and everything. Because like I said, my favorite part has got to be the Kyle and Andy situation and everything, and the Junior killing his father, which like I said was fucking awesome. So yeah, make sure to comment your like, you know, favorite episode down below and everything, or like, you know, if you're like me, you can't decide 100% yet until you see the final episode. And also make sure to comment down below what you guys think is going to happen in episode 8, like, you know, based on the trailer and this episode. Make sure to comment your theories down below for that, and make sure to comment down below what was your favorite part of this episode. Like I said, mine was obviously like, you know, the Kyle Andy stuff and the Junior murdering his father, which was fucking awesome. And definitely expect my episode 8 trailer breakdown sometime like, you know, very early this week. You guys will most likely be seeing this, I think, Wednesday, so expect my episode 8 trailer breakdown video, I think about around Thursday or Friday. And yeah, that has been all from me today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Chucky videos like this and more stuff in horror. And with the Chucky series ending very soon, actually practically next week, or at least like, you know, season 1 ending, hopefully we get a season 2. Make sure to comment down below what other videos you guys do want to see on this channel, like other horror movie review, like, you know, reviews and everything, because there are a ton that I do want to watch and review on this channel, such as, like I said, the Child's Play series and a ton of other horror movies, like maybe Annabelle, The Conjuring, like I mentioned in my last video, the Houses That October Bill and everything. I do want to review a ton of different horror movies on this channel. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Chucky videos like this, and like I said, more reviews, theories, and breakdowns, and other like, you know, show breakdowns and reviews and stuff, just stuff like this. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace on my amigos, and peace out.